So what you're looking at is an unmanned surface vessel about to hit a Russian ship. This is a Ukrainian vessel. Obviously, no defensive measures were taken, and this unmanned boat with explosives hits the side of the Russian ship. And here's the outcome of that attack on this Russian vessel by a Ukrainian drone boat. Clearly, the vessel is listing as it's being towed into harbor. Looks like it can't move under its own power, and various tugboats are escorting it in for possible repairs. Here's another angle as Russian beachgoers watch the vessel their tax dollars paid for get towed back into the harbor after being struck by a Ukrainian drone. It looks like it's listing pretty badly here, and given the use of this ship, how Russia would use it, it could have implications for future operations, potentially in Odessa and other places, but not necessarily. So this is what this ship is supposed to look like when it's not listing in a harbor after being attacked by Ukraine. It's a large landing ship fielded by Russia. They were built in Poland, used in the 1970s all the way up to today apparently, and they're used to land equipment, vehicles, personnel on beaches, as well as launch amphibious special operators in the ocean or receive them as they conduct missions. Here's a image of what it looks like offloading equipment. It can carry about 25 armored personnel carriers to a beach to launch. And why this could be significant is in the Black Sea Fleet, these were being maintained in case Russia wanted to launch an amphibious assault on Odessa. Losing the capability to do that with one of these ships going out of commission obviously puts a dent in any future plan for that. Now, I don't think Russia was planning for that anytime soon because it puts these ships in a hugely vulnerable position as the landing takes place. But nonetheless, at the very least, it's a hit to the pride of Russia with yet another ship being struck out in the ocean. So what's really fascinating about this situation is how this vessel, which was named the Olenigorsky Gornyak, how it was struck. This boat was located off the coast of Russia near Novorossiysk, which is right here, meaning that it was operating probably somewhere in this range right here when it was struck by a Ukrainian drone boat. If you go by Ukrainian territory, this drone boat was likely launched up here unless they have found a way to interdict somewhere and launch these within Russian-controlled territory. But if it did hit the boat from Ukraine territory, it means it traveled a good distance to find a target of opportunity. This is about 400 miles for those of us that dwell on land. For you seagoers, that's about 350 nautical miles. This is likely the boat they use. It's an unmanned surface vessel that is full of explosives. It has penetrators on the front to basically drive a large hole into the side of a ship and explode. This boat has this vessel, this unmanned surface vessel, whatever you want to call it, has a range of about 500 miles. So it's within range of a Ukrainian attack shown on the map, as I talked about before. So what we're seeing is probably Ukraine launching these drone boats and having their drone boat pilots just search for targets of opportunity along the coastline, and then if they find one, they strike. What's very significant is this one was obviously very far from any Ukrainian-controlled territory. Obviously, it wouldn't have launched from within the Sea of Azov because Russia controls this, but also the Kerch Bridge is very much monitoring boat traffic, including drone boats going under. This was a pretty impressive show of force by Ukraine as it simultaneously took place, whether on purpose or not, with an aerial drone attack into Crimea that launched from Kherson sometime around midnight of last night Ukraine time. And this strike hit targets all over Crimea, again trying to take out the logistics capacity and capability of the Russians. The difference, though, is that went actually down there. It didn't really take that route, but this is what the strikes generally look like. And as I said, this drone boat struck off of Novorossiysk. Most of the aerial drones, which were a Chinese variant that looks like this, it's called the Mugen 5. they were intercepted either by electronic warfare or shot down. Of the 18 drones, only like 3 got through from Ukraine. However, of the 3 that got through, 1 struck an oil storage depot and caused significant damage to oil stored in Crimea, which could potentially harm future operations for Russia. But nonetheless, yet again, a significant strike towards the Russian Navy, which is impressive when you consider that Ukraine itself doesn't have its own navy. And once again proving that the future of warfare lies within drones, not just aerial drones, but also surface vessels in the ocean, and potentially even drones on the ground, depending on their usages.